Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Fox98 here. Welcome back to a brand new episode of my F1 2019 career mode for you guys today here on the channel. And the second of two uploads for today. So this is a double upload for career mode. And the reason for that, like I said, is because I pre-recorded career mode bit too far, basically. I'm just uploading a couple of extra videos just to sort of catch up a little bit, so I'm sort of back on track in terms of editing and recording and stuff like that. I'm basically just getting lost with so many videos in my Elgato. I just can't remember what video is what. But anyway, we're here for the Russian Grand Prix, and last season it was a very, very successful race for us. We managed to actually win the Grand Prix, so we've got a lot to live up to as we head into qualifying this time around then. Moving forward in towards the first part of qualifying here, Sergio Perez is currently fastest at the moment on a 1 minute 29.6. We come across line and set a 1 minute 30.5, which is 9/10 of a second down on Sergio Perez, but it puts us into P8 and comfortably through into the second part of qualifying, which is great for us. So yeah, we're through into Q2. Norris also gets into Q2 as well. I do also have a 5-place grid penalty, however, for a new gearbox change. So this is going to set me down the order slightly. So I've got to be careful on trying to get through in qualifying, because of course I do have that grid penalty coming my way. So I do need to be careful on that side of things. But nevertheless, though, I still felt the pace was really competitive, so I decided actually during the second part of qualifying that I was going to attack the attack qualifying. The final two corners on that lap, though, weren't exactly that good. But yeah, I was feeling comfortable, but unfortunately, you see here, Q2, it wasn't enough. And in fact, actually, I just realised, I remember I didn't even actually bother going through into Q3. I left it alone. I decided to do the one run, and that was all I did, and then we got knocked out, so that's where we're going to stay. But yeah, so that is everything then done for qualifying here for the Russian Grand Prix. It's going to be P13, dropping us to P18 with the grid penalty. But without further ado, it's all about the race, so let's see what we can do. It's time for the Russian Grand Prix.
Good afternoon from Sochi as we prepare to get underway for the Russian Grand Prix. The championship battle has some time to go yet, but still expect no quarter to be given here on this circuit that made its debut in 2014 and has already seen some classic racing. It's full throttle for around 56% of the lap here at the Sochi Autodrome, a 3.6-mile run around the site of the 2014 Winter Olympics. 12 right turns and 6 left turns give us a total count of 18, with passing opportunities available into turns 1 and 13. With me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Thomas. They've had to change their gearbox. It's never a good start to a Grand Prix when, right off the bat, you have to contend with a grid penalty.
Fingers crossed that's one failure they won't have to worry about today, at least. There's not much of a silver lining to starting down the field with a penalty, but I think they'll be able to make some of that back up over the course of the race.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Bottas, Butler, Kevin Magnussen, and Sainz, Norris, Perez, Stroll, and Roman Grosjean. Weber, Russell, Max Verstappen, and Hülkenberg. Raikkonen, Thomas, Alexander Albon, and Antonio Giovinazzi. Gasly, they've taken a grid penalty, and Charles Leclerc completes today's grid order. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, and so we're here now for the start of the Russian Grand Prix, and as you can see, we're on the grids here, and I believe we're only in like P16 or something like that, but we're going to start on the soft tyres and go to a set of mediums for the end of the race. I was considering doing the alternate strategy, but decided to just do the bog standard one and see how we go. But anyway, we're on 16th on the grid, so we've effectively gained 2 places from our penalty, but it's 5 red lights, and it's now lights out. We go here to start the Russian Grand Prix for ourselves. Decent initial getaway, but as per usual in these F1 games, you get swamped in the secondary phase at the start there. A little bit of contact with one of the Toro Rosso cars, but it's not too major there as we make the charge towards turn 1. Vettel leads the Grand Prix ahead of the 2 Mercedes cars. We, meanwhile, have got a nice open invitation to go down the inside of a couple of cars into the first corner, and we do just that. And as you can see now, we've gained a few places there. I think we might be up into about 14th, 15th place there. Verstappen is there behind us now as he tries to find a way around us, but as we now go through towards there, a little bit of contact actually made between myself and Robert Kubica, but we managed to get through unscathed, so we're completely fine. The Renault's there trying to fight off with one of the Mercedes cars. Meanwhile, we're now going down the inside of the Haas car of Roman Grosjean, just literally flying through the grid. grid right now, making up a lot of places here. Now we've got the next Williams car of George Russell, and I've got to be a little bit patient trying to pass him. I had a look into that high-speed corner, but it's just not an overtaking spot. Neither is this spot here, so this is a portion of the track where we just got to be a little bit careful. And we have a little look, though, down inside on George Russell, and we are really making some fantastic progress in the start of this lap. And now we don't have DRS, I forgot about that. And as you can see now on the straight here, we are going to come under pressure from George Russell. There's a 3-wide moment there, but eventually change into a 2-wide position as we lock up a little bit on the front right tyre, but nothing too major, as obviously George and Romain Grosjean go to scraps, but that allows us now to get onto the back of Stroll. And yeah, it's been a fantastic start. My teammate Norris is literally right there, so we're doing a great job of things right now. And as we go in towards the second to last corner then, and towards the final corner, that is the end of the first lap done and dusted, and a superb start to this Grand Prix. And I think we're up into 10th place. Yes, that's 6 places gained off the start there, so a really good effort. Lap 2 now to start lap 3 of the Grand Prix, and we've got a great run here on Stroll, but he's got a little bit more straight line speed, it looks like. We go around the outside though, we lock up though on the front right tyre, and that's cost us some time there. And now obviously you can see that Stroll is going to come back at us, and we break a little bit earlier there, because at the end of the day I overtook Stroll off track, so I decided to brake earlier to allow the position to come back his way. But now as you can see, I'm really struggling in the dirty air of Lance Stroll's racing point. But now as we go in towards this corner and onto the back straight now, this is when we can turn up the engine and really get the fight to Stroll as we now increase our speed. Here you can see we've opened no DRS, obviously. I keep thinking that we've opened up the DRS, but yeah, now as we attack Stroll here in towards this corner, we're going to go for it on Lance, and we do just that. Go down the inside on Stroll. Bit of contact made actually there. Back end squirms out slightly, so Stroll holds on into this position. But now as we go up the hill now in towards this final sector portion here, you can see we get the move done on Stroll, and I go very aggressive on Lance, and he loses about 2 places there. But at the end of the day, that's my corner, so I claimed that, and I forced him out wide, and he didn't want to participate properly, so that's his own fault there, as we get a warning for exceeding the track limits there, so we need to be careful of that. DRS is now enabled, but now we've got Lucas Weber behind us here, and this is going to be a bit of an issue for us now. We're going to have to use higher mixtures here. We've also got DRS to contend with, but unfortunately, Lucas Weber just, well, flies past, basically. DRS is what's going to come into play. What's also going to come into play, though, is going to be my braking, as we now get the move done there. We're back in front of Weber. Weber has a little look towards the outside line, but we blocked that one off quite easily, and that's going to stop Lucas from getting any attack on us. Lap 7 to start lap 8 to the Grand Prix now, and Charles Leclerc is next to pass me. Now, Charles did have a grip penalty, but you can see that my front left tyre is now starting to overheat, and Charles Leclerc with the DRS here, he's just in a much faster car, so there's no point in fighting it, and that's exactly what I do. Don't fight it, and I'm going to let him go and chase after my teammate Lando Norris. And if worst case scenario, they two have a little bit of a fight, then you never know, we might actually be able to get onto the scrap here with Norris. So we'll see how it goes. But for now, we're down into P10, and we've just got to basically accept that. You can see a big scrap up ahead, though. Meanwhile, onto lap 9 to start lap 10 of the Grand Prix here. And again, the tyres very much overheating. Both the front tyres now are getting a little bit a bit too hot. So I need to start just basically getting a bit relaxed on the car and the driving. And onto lap 11 of the Grand Prix. Now I'm going to come into the pits for my one and only stop of the Grand Prix, and fit on the set of the medium compound tyres and take those to the end of the Grand Prix. Like I said, the tyres were overheating. My pace was just starting to drop off a little bit more, so I decided now was an appropriate time to get into the pits and just get a new set of tyres on. That's what I needed to do, and that's what we're going to do. So we're coming in now. Let's see how the boys can do with their stop. It's a 2-second stop, no delays, no hold-ups, brilliant stuff. We're out into what will be P14, 15. I think we'll be just behind the Toro Rosso car of Alexander Albon, I want to say. Yes, it is Alexander Albon. So that's us behind him, and now we've got to just try and basically get on with our own Grand Prix. See how things go, and move it on from there. So we're going to try and chase up onto the back of Albon, get past him as quick as we possibly can, and then get onto the back of Gasly as well, and try and sort him out as well. But lap 12 to start on towards it. We go towards Albon here in P14. You can see how much faster we are in the middle sector. Fake towards the outside line, drive it towards the inside line instead, and get the move done. Back end slides a little bit there, but we're alright with it, and that's us back up now into 12th place. Now we're chasing after Gasly here. You can see is in the Red Bull car, a little bit up the road, but we've got such great closing speed. Fastest middle sector of anybody here. My bad, Pierre. Man's coming through. Ultimate dive bomb. And who says you can't dive bomb with no ABS? Poof. I'd test the limits here. And now, as you can see here, we're going through the final sector here. I was trying to see if I could set a fastest lap, but it didn't work out. But on to lap 16 now. Kevin Magnussen actually stopped for the hard tyres, which is quite weird. But eventually, I got past him. I was a little bit aggressive. I was really aggressive. I've watched this back now. Jesus Christ, Tom. I need to calm down a little bit. But lap 17 to start lap 18 now. We're onto the back of Devon Bullsack here. I haven't said Bullsack Boy in a long time, haven't I? But we're now onto the back of Bullsack Boy. And we just set the fastest final sector of the race so far. We've got a yellow flag up ahead, though. Don't tell me that's Ferrari again. No, it's not. It's one of the Renault cars. It's actually one of the Renault cars. That's a shock. It's Sainz, though. The start of the Grand Prix, of course, Renault having the fastest package. That's a really big shame for them. And Carlos is going to be gutted with that one. Meanwhile, though, we're chasing after Bullsack Boy. And we've got some great performance right now. Really, really fast on these medium tyres. And we're just going to sail past the Racing Point. And that's us up now into P6 for this Grand Prix. And a very, very good recovery drive. And yeah, we're now going to see if we can try and chase after Leclerc, the two Mercedes cars. It's going to be risky, but we'll see what we can do. But that didn't happen, I'm afraid. Sergio Perez, though, says the fastest lap of the race as Vettel crosses the line to win the Russian Grand Prix. But for us, though, it was honestly one of the weirdest races I've actually remembered doing, because we now come across towards the start-finish line here. Final corner around the bend, and we just set the fastest lap of the race on the last lap to steal the fastest lap point away from Sergio Perez. But it was such a weird race. In the first set, when I was on the soft tyres, I didn't have the pace. My tyres were overheating. And then as soon as I pitted for the medium tyres, I was rapid. I was so much faster than the AIs. And I just had the outright speed to fight them. And you saw there, it was the final lap of the Grand Prix. And I thought, you know what, let's just try and go for fastest lap and see what happens. In that circumstance, I got the fastest lap. So yeah, I mean, all things considered, we started 16th place on the grid. We finished in 6th. And we also got the bonus point for the fastest lap. So I don't really think I can complain about that race. It just felt quite weird, you know. From my perspective, though, it is a good result. What is not a good result, though, is that both Mercedes cars did beat me today, which does mean, and also Vettel did as well. That does mean that in the championship, those guys are going to either pull clear, or I know Vettel was behind me in the championship. He's going to pull forwards now in this championship battle. Perez there with a fantastic second place as well. But we'll get a look at the whole grid here. There it is. It is Vettel from Perez, Hamilton, Leclerc, Bottas, myself, and then it's Bullsack Boy, Grosjean, Stroll. Norris does pick up a point for McLaren, which is great to see. And then obviously you can see that we set the fastest lap by a long way. Drivers' Championship, we are now 15 points behind Bottas. We only lost a point to him today. Vettel, though, jumps up into second place in the championship. It is now Bottas, his closest contender. And Lewis Hamilton is now 18 points back. So it's a four-way fight now for the championship. Constructors' Championship, Mercedes are still dominating. And I expect them to go on and win the Constructors' Championship.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. That was a pretty close finish with your old F2 rival. You two are pretty
I won.
Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today?
On the medium tyres, no, I was flying.
Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crash?
I don't remember crashing. I remember crossing the line with everything intact.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, Claire. So yeah, that is everything done for this F1 2019 career modes here for the Russian Grand Prix. If you guys obviously have enjoyed the video, feel free to drop it a like and obviously subscribe to the channel if you're new around here as well. I really do appreciate all the love and support you guys have been showing for my channel just in general recently. Yeah, I think we've also got a contract negotiation to go through. So we're going to have a look at that now and then we'll move away from today's video. So yeah, you can see the team goal bonus there. 500 resource points. We can use those very, very wisely to get ourselves a few extra bits and bobs for this car. But as you can see now, we're going to pass through all of that. Go over to the contract negotiation screen and let's see what we've got then. So in terms of that, the initial contracts were crap. So I'm just going to put level 3 on absolutely everything. And then for the qualifying in the race, I'm going to bump those down to like, in the race, P9 I'm going to go for. In qualifying, P12 or P11. And then accept the contract. It hardly even moved. It was kind of a waste of time. I could have just gone P16 and P16 and they would have been fine. But anyway, guys, if you have enjoyed the video, like I said, drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I will see you guys for the next episode very, very soon. But for now, what upgrade do I make? Can't even remember. Because like I said, I recorded this a very long time ago. Is it the ultimate chassis weight upgrade? Is it the ultimate chassis upgrade for the engine cover? I don't know. Or is it the barge boards? Tom, make an upgrade. You pleb, please. Do something. Is it fuel technology? Engine power? Yes. That's going to be for Mexico. Take care all. Peace.